Hi there all, I don't know how long this video is going to be. I have allocated, great word, that's what William says to the missus, I have allocated about 8-9 minutes. I don't want to do this rushed. I don't know how long it's been since the last episode, and I don't even know what episode number this is. Sorry, but you know, it's just life, isn't it? Sometimes I'm not in the study, so I've kind of got my office laid out here, as you do. Anyway, ahoy there. Welcome back to another episode of The Truth, and in this episode I'm finally going to cover, again, I think pun intended, or it wasn't originally going to be a pun, but there you go. I don't know. And all of that is part of it as well. Yes, I've moved the camera to get the light, benefit of the light, and I've temporarily forgot that I can do editing now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about my OCD. I'm going to say buckle up because I've got about 7.5 minutes on my gloves. Sorry, force of habit, and I don't want to rush. And there's a lot to get through. So like I said, I've got my office in front of me. There's a lot to get through. So anyway, the origins of my OCD, which is obsessive compulsive disorder. Now that means I fear contamination. Now it's quite big. It is. I mean, OCD in itself is strange, but there are some people who fear just germs. There are some people who fear vomit. There are some people who fear different kinds. I fear every single kind of contamination, like, you know, infinity, that kind of thing. And you know, the amount of stuff I fear in terms of contamination. Again, like I said, I'm reaching for my office. You can't really put a number on it. I just fear everything. A blanket fear, and I would fear a blanket as well being put over me because it might be dirty. So anyway, what happened was I was bullied a lot during primary school for many reasons. Again, some I might cover in future episodes, or some, you know, you can use your grey matter and picture it and everything like that. I was bullied a lot in primary school, and it was getting worse and worse, and I was getting more and more depressed, even though I was quite young. I'm not quite sure how old I was. I was 9 in 2001-ish, so 2000. I'm still awful at maths. 9 in 2001, so 2003, 10, 11-ish, that kind of age, as it were. I was being bullied a lot at school. And what happened was, I was in year 5, primary school year 5 in the UK. I was in it for one day, and the bullying was so bad, I actually got corridor skittles. The popular bullying kids set up all the unpopular kids' bags and then picked me up by not the skin scruff of the neck, but the sort of back neck of my clothes, and threw me down the corridor like a bowling ball. Yeah, I know, and that's true, and as is this series is called. And I came home and said I'm not going in again, and true to my word, again the series being called that, I didn't. The only thing is, though, is that had an effect on me, and what happened is that when you go to school, everything is planned out in front of you. Your whole future is planned out, it's structured and everything. You've got primary school, you've got secondary school, you've got college, you've got university, you've got job, happy life and all that, rainbows and everything. But when all that uncertainty came in, I wasn't going to be in school, I wasn't going to be in secondary school, all of that, I had a mental breakdown, not on the outside, but on the inside. I didn't know what it, you know, I suffered sort of a break inside that I wasn't ready for. And I had a sort of mental breakdown on the inside, and I think we all have doors in our heads which could potentially open and let all kinds of problems in, as it were. And what happened is that uncertainty and that mental breakdown, it opened the door to OCD, and OCD came in, and I was in home education, and during home education I saw a change within myself very much, and it started out just spitting on, I think, started out spitting on my hands, wanting to wash them a lot, and it moved. I returned to school in a way, sort of, in 2008, and by then I was wearing the white gloves that have, you know, become, I'm going to say at this point, such a thing. That's kind of the origins of it, and there's a few more things to cover in now what seems like not a lot of time. Very annoyingly. As is can't breathe. Maybe it's getting all this weight off the shoulders. As is a common thing with OCD, I have an OCD number that I count to make myself feel better. There have been some people doing newspaper interviews recently, or a small handful. There was someone who did a newspaper interview in the Metro newspaper, or Metro Online, and they revealed their OCD number. I don't think that's a good idea, really, because you're giving potential bullies ammunition. I do have one. I'm not going to say what it is, but I do. There's a few other strange things about it. For instance, and this is with lots of things that you can open, but if you take something like this chocolate bar, for instance, and this is not a spawn video, the word starts here and ends here. I can only open this from this end. My OCD doesn't like me opening this from the other end. Well, I did open it. Oh yeah. That's the thing. That's nice. I have a problem with sugar. And I might cover that in another video. So there's that. My OCD definitely got worse as I was going through my dark patch, as I was on the road, and you know, there were lots of issues with it. You know, social services and the staff in my supported living unit, support being a very, very flimsy word there, almost non-existent, they didn't believe I had it. They thought I was, you know, laying it on to get sympathy, which is one of the many problems. I can't reveal all of, even though this is called The Truth, I can't reveal everything about, well, it's not can't, or there's issues about revealing everything. I don't want to reveal everything about my OCD, so, you know, weirdly. And and there are some things where your mind might be going now, where I'm just going to say, you know, use your imagination. That's what I'm going to say. But I do have a mantra, praying one. No, that's something else. I do have a mantra, which I'm going to need to read off paper. So just give me a minute to get that sorted. Not a minute, a little bit of time. So actually, just before I do my mantra, and by the way, if you're wondering, I filmed that the bigger video that's in the dark. I filmed that on a day, but what it is I'm doing this little bit the day after, so I'm kind of future Mark. Anyway, I'll get into what I want to say this little bit just before I do or reveal to you my OCD mantra. I've heard that OCD gets worse until the sufferer can't leave the house. Now, yes, I don't like rain very much, and sometimes that keeps me in, but I leave the house quite often when maybe I wouldn't want to. So that's That's an achievement, so there you go. Also, when it comes to getting worse, I have held my OCD in the same place. It hasn't gone downhill, it hasn't deteriorated. I have held it in the same place for years. That's not me saying like for 4 as in the number 4. I've just held it in the same place for years. So yeah. Right. Bit of cough. I have no idea why. Anyway, back to sort of future Mark. Sort of past Mark. Sort of past Mark. Get it right, you utter fool. So here is my mantra. I wrote this on a place that you can't really lose or drop accidentally around the house, misplace around the house. That's a story for another time. I wrote this on the 2nd of the 2nd, 2016. So I was thinking about my OCD today and many things connected to it when I realised something. My gloves are my wheelchair. They are my replacement metal limbs. I still don't know if the gloves make me or I make them. Now, standing here in 2017, I'd absolutely say that the gloves make me. And I'm staff at a few branches. This is not again a Spawn video. And staff at a few branches of Sainsbury's, Southern train stations, and my own local buses. They seem to really know me because I very, very ironically stick out like a can you predict the punchline? Because I stick out like a sore thumb. The rest of the 2016 bit I've got written down is boring. So yeah, I put my hands up and say, look, well, gloves, hands, gloves. Again, it is confusing, and say I can't be interesting all the time. So yeah, sorry if the light has gone. Not like that, but sorry if the light has gone, and I'll see you in the next episode. This wasn't entirely... I mean, it could be badly edited, and again, rather ironically, this could end up as not very clean. Cheers.